From what I'm looking at right here, this right here is a total fucking joke.
Yikes, where is it all going wrong for Kamala and the Democrat Party when it comes to black voters?
Wakanda forever.
She's doing all she can. It's a mystery to me.
Look, I grew up in the middle class.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Why all the sudden independent thought from the black voters? Very selfish of them.
And you ain't black.
And this is what I think, Kamala, about your plans to prosper. You never had no plans for the black community at all to prosper. All of your plans have been for the illegal community to prosper and to take the jobs from the black community and everybody else. And this right here is what I feel about your plans to prosper us.
How dare you be so ungrateful after all the Democrats have done for you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Anyway, as ludicrous as it may sound, we are going to hear some first-hand accounts from some black voters as to why they ain't going to be voting for no Kamala come November. They sick of them Dems, right? A lot of them, they be voting for Trump. And we're going to hear exactly why. We're also going to look at what the Dems, Kamala and her comrades, are planning to do to lure these dissenting blacks back to the house, back to the Dems, okay? I think you're going to be quite surprised at some of the strategies.
Who's Daniel Boland? Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
I have never been so offended in my life. She's bringing a man here who is Charlemagne, a false god, to a community that has 4,500 churches, all people of faith. We are extremely offended that she's bringing a podcaster here to talk to black men about politics. She brought a retired athlete to Flint who is failing, Magic Johnson, and she brought Oprah to Oakland County as if she understands the plight and the pain of people that look like me.
Yeah, this is something I just can't stand. It is very patronizing when politicians cozy up to celebrities to try and look cool. And to be fair to Kamala, she's by no means the first politician to do this. I remember Tony Blair back in the 90s with his Cool Britannia brand when he invited Noel Gallagher and Mick Hucknall and Grant Mitchell for some reason to number 10 Downing Street to have some champagne. And I remember as a child thinking that's a bit weird. I didn't really get that at the time. I couldn't believe as a child people were falling for that shit.
We will not allow virtue signaling, or we will not allow identity politics. Black men are not political infants. We know exactly what's happening with the Democratic Party. We know that they've exploited us for over 6 decades. And we are saying, just like Moses said to Pharaoh, let my people go.
Okay, so the nice man seems to have lost his train of thought just a tad there. He done gone all biblical on their ears, right? But the point still stands. It is very patronizing of the Democrats, says I, after doing my best blaccent. But it is very patronizing of them to sit around and say, who do black people like now? Oprah? Magic Johnson? You know how those blacks like their basketball, people. I think it may be time to call on the big guns. Get me Michael Jackson, Prince, and Kobe Bryant. Oh, I see. What about Bill Cosby? No, we do not want Al fucking Sharpton.
Hey, man, say, man, these Democrats are some evil, conniving, scheming motherfuckers.
They've already started with the misinformation and the lies. We know that there is foreign interference, and I have to say to everybody listening to this, don't let them take your voice.
You see, it's not your fault if you disagree with the Dems, all right? It's just that you're too feeble-minded to form your own opinions. It's those pesky Russians. They got to you again, did they? They brainwashed you.
Because I was part of the Senate Intelligence Committee
Ironically.
when we investigated Russia's interference in the 2016 election. Black folks were targeted with misinformation.
I hope you caught that. Are you listening carefully, Black America? So I'll just explain a little bit. I'll dub it down a tad for some of you. What Kamala is trying to tell you there is she's trying to remind you. Do you remember back in 2016? Do you? No, of course you don't remember. Back in 2016, the Russians, they targeted you, Black Americans. They went for you because they saw you as a soft target in the election with their bots and their election interference. All that election interference that they did. Europe? No, of course, no. Well, anyway, that happened. And they're going to do it again. They see you as a soft target again, for whatever reason. We know those Russians. We know that they are going to target Black Americans with misinformation because, they probably think you're feeble-minded and, fickle in nature. I know that that's exactly what we would never do. Don't look up Project Birmingham.
These some more bitches decided that they gonna buy the black folk.
Yeah, well, to be honest, Black Americans, you're being very unreasonable. I mean, the Democrats have tried everything with you people, okay? They've tried Oprah. They've tried Magic Johnson. They've even tried to sit down and explain to you why you might think that some of their policies are not absolutely brilliant. It's because of the Russians, the Russian bots and the interference, the misinformation and stuff. But you don't seem to get that. So they've got one last thing they're willing to try. Okay? You should be grateful that they're still even trying at this point.
Kamala Harris will create an opportunity agenda for black men.
That sounds almost...
Provide 1 million loans that are fully forgivable up to 20,000 American dollars for black entrepreneurs and others to start a business.
I'd have loved to have been a gecko on the wall when that plan was dreamed up by the Democrats. We'll offer some small business loans. I was thinking 1 million. Okay, but how much should we give them? $20,000. Oh, sounds like an awful lot. What would be the interest rate on that? Nothing. Oh, God. What would be the time frame? When would they have to pay it back by? Never. That is a watertight plan. I suppose the most beautiful part about the plan is that it's so vague. This is available for black entrepreneurs and others. It's so vague as to the point if they don't do it, nobody will know that they haven't done it. So that's good.
Support education, training and mentorship programs that lead to good-paying jobs for black men, including pathways to become teachers.
What pathways? What programs? Supporting how? Go get 'em, black guys.
Protect cryptocurrency investments so black men who make them know their money is safe.
Oh, that's great, I guess, because that way, anyone who's using cryptocurrency a lot, all of those wayfarers of the dark web, those black market pirates, the pimps, the peddlers, the gun runners of our society won't have to deal with such a volatile marketplace anymore. Maybe they can get a foot on the property ladder for once. I don't know why that's specific to black men.
Launch a national health initiative focused on the illnesses that disproportionately impact black men.
The second they discover the cure for 17 stab wounds in the back.
Wow, Kamala's like Christ reborn. She's even going to heal not the blind, like Christ did the first time he came, but the blacks.
Olet nyt terve.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
And I guess, some white people might feel a little bit discriminated against there. They might be using that boomer meme. I guess I'll just die then. Anyway, this final policy really is the jewel in the crown of Kamala's agenda for whatever it was, establishing Wakanda.
Legalize recreational marijuana and create opportunities for black Americans to succeed in this new industry.
Damn! That can't be serious, surely. That can't be a real policy, can it? Aimed at black people. We'll legalize drugs, and and you can sell them. We know how you like, opportunities. What else are they going to do? Wave a bottle of Henny at them at the election stations? I don't...
It's basically the same deal, except we get a free keg of beer for our meeting.
Yay!
And in exchange for that, we have to give up our dental plan.
Huh? Somebody in the Democratic Party came up with the elaborate plot that, look here, these don't think for themselves. How dare they? They don't know nothing about morals, principles, and values.
I mean, I've got to be honest, it does sound that way. I always go back to the meeting. What must the meeting have been like? The crisis meeting that they held, saying, hey, these black men, they're slipping through our fingers. We've got to do something. What can we do to keep them loyal to the Democrats? I've got it. What do black people like most? Illicitly obtained crypto funds and drugs. I think after we've announced these measures, they'll know who the party for the black man is.
That's all right, Toby. That's all right. You be a good field hand, and you can stay here.
Toby, stay. Toby, stay. Toby, be good now.
This is what we gonna do. We gonna dangle a little money in their face, huh? $25,000. Start up your own business. Opportunity. Give them a little hope. You understand what I'm saying? Because the celebrity shit ain't working. The race bait shit ain't working. So we gotta do something. It ain't just the black men, it's the black women too. They voting for Donald Trump. Ain't that a bitch? Let's promise them some money. And when we win this election, we ain't gonna give them shit. We ain't gonna give them shit. Listen here, black folks. Listen to me good. This is a play. This is a play on your intelligence. We are not for sale. Black folks are not fucking sale. You hear me?
So my agenda, well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied.
Save your time, Kamala. I've already studied it for you, and all of the tests came back negative. No thanks. No reparations.
There's no question about that. And I've been very clear about that position.
You always know when a politician isn't being clear. They're being very ambiguous about something when they say, I've always been very clear about that. What? You're not even being clear now. You're saying it has to be studied. That means I need to think about it. That's not clear.
In terms of my immediate plan, I will tell you a few of the following. One, as it relates to the economy, which is a lot of what you have addressed. Look, I grew up in the middle class.
Say the line!
I grew up in the middle class. My mother, worked hard, raised me and my sister, and by the time I was in high school, she was able to afford our first home.
All right, give her a chance. Bear with old Kamala here. She is getting to her point. This is an early morning show on Charlemagne the God. All right? And Kamala doesn't quite have her liquid lunch vermouthy vibe, that buzz going yet.
I know what it means for an individual and a family to have home ownership. I also know, in the context of history, nobody got 40 acres and a mule.
Well, maybe you should offer that to all of the black men in America instead of legalizing drug dealing. Offer them 40 acres of land and a mule. An ass. That sounds better, doesn't it? That would be amazing, actually, if they actually did that, I would vote for that. I'd love to see every black man in America given 40 acres and a mule. What the hell would they do with that? The chaos that would ensue.
It's all a big joke. Don't fall for this shit, y'all. Don't fall for it. I'm telling you. It's a big joke. If she wanted to do any of this, remember, she's already in office. She should have already done this. So stop believing her lies.
Wow. A damning indictment from the black community. All right. And if any of you have got a problem with anything I've said in today's video, remember, I'm just the messenger, okay? It wasn't me. I'm just reporting what a load of black guys and girls have said about Kamala. It was not my fault. I didn't do it.
A giant black guy did it.
Okay, that's enough for me on today's subject, I think. It's always good to get a white man's opinion on these topics, just to clear everything up. Anyway, I think I've I think I've finished, as I said. If you've enjoyed today's video, give the video a like to let the algorithm, the universe, know what a great time you've had. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share this everywhere so everyone will know. And if you want to help out with the channel, join my Patreon. The link's in the description. We've got some exclusive videos up on there. We've got some more exclusive videos coming very, very soon on there. And early access a lot of the time with the restrictions on YouTube. I have to put the videos up on Patreon a day before I put them up here on YouTube many, many times. So that's all very fun. Anyway, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Cue the outro.
That people are frankly exhausted of Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?